Thanks for tuning in. This is Stopper Be Thoppin', and in this video I'm going to go all over the HiPeak Elias e-bike that I bought off Amazon. This is an owner review. I've got no affiliation with HiPeak, no affiliation with Amazon. I don't care if you buy the bike. There's a ton of other bikes that are just like it, but in this video I'm going to go over my likes, my dislikes, and I'm going to show you the bike in action. We'll do some steep climbs with it. We'll give it the pedal assist. We'll do the throttle only. And I'll just show you what it's like to live with this thing. There are some kind of quirky features about riding this bicycle with the electric assist that take a little bit of getting used to, even like some safety features in my opinion. So I'm going to talk all about that in this review. But again, this is an owner review. I bought the bike with my own money. Absolutely no affiliation with HiPeak or with Amazon. There's a million other bikes just like it. This is the one I ended up buying. So what this video will not include is a full spec sheet / rundown of every single feature on the bike. There's plenty of other YouTube videos out there where they obviously got the bike for free in order to talk about all those things. Again, I bought this thing with my own money. So I will touch on some of the specifications and the features as appropriate as I'm talking about the bike and what it's like to live with. So a lot of the video that I'm recording, I'm going pretty slow. But right now I'm cruising at about 20 miles per hour, so these things can go fast, and let's be honest, that's what most people use them for. Doing another speed run, coming from the back. There's 20. Yeah, it's holding at 20. I've definitely had it up to about 23, 24 before. So this bike does not have the gearing and the torque to really make it up this pretty steep hill, but it can go down some technical stuff pretty good. And that's kind of steep. So we primarily bought the bike for camping, and I know that means a whole lot of different things to a whole lot of different people, but I feel like we're pretty basic when it comes to that stuff. You know, we've got a little toy hauler and a pickup truck. So we're looking to do more camping as our son gets older and older. He's just a little baby right now, but we're gonna go to our property in West Virginia and go explore all those gravel roads. We're gonna go to many different campgrounds in the region, whether they're regional parks, county parks, state parks, whatever. Almost all those types of places are really conducive to this type of a platform to use for exploring. And we also race hare scrambles, or at least I do. So I'm hoping my kiddo will in the future. We'll see. But it'll be fun to take him, my wife, and our camper to the races where we can use this e-bike to get around a little bit better. So one of the other things that I really like about having one of these is it's a great way to exercise the dog. So we trained our dog to heel beside the bicycle. That took a couple days, but so for the last 10, 12 years, he's just run right beside me on the bicycle. So now I can just use the e-bike and be even lazier when I'm trying to exercise my dog, which just sounds silly. But in addition to that, you can run errands with it. So we currently live in suburbia where there's a 7-Eleven right around the corner, a post office, banks, ATM, grocery stores and things. So instead of going and using our ICE car and with a gas engine and doing all those really short trips and shortening the life of that engine, well, we can just hop on the e-bike, take it to the local wherever you have to go. Maybe you got to run to the 7-Eleven for a 6-pack of beer, soda or something. You just lock it up, grab whatever you need, and head home. Short trips are just a breeze with this thing. So that's basically why we bought it. So it's going to be hard to tell on camera, but I am at the bottom of the hill there. I'm at a dead stop. I'm just gonna sprint up this thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna put a whole lot of physical effort into it myself. I'm gonna let the bike do most of the work here. But the camera's not gonna pick up how steep this hill is. I come and I run this hill whenever I wanna remind myself how out of shape I am. I've got pedal assist on 7 and I'm gonna hit full throttle. Here we go. I am bare. If I were to guess, I am applying about 1% of the power right now. So 1% is coming from me. I'm cruising at 7.5 miles per hour, 7.7, 7.8, 7.9, 8.3, 8.5, 6, 7, 9 miles per hour, 9.5. Oh, baby. 10 miles per hour. We are cruising. 11. Oh! So my first major like about this bike is the price. Now, we paid right around $800, and that includes taxes and delivery, which was free because we got it during like kind of like a holiday sale. So in the grand scheme of things, that's really not a whole lot for an e-bike. Now, the whole adage of you get what you pay for kind of comes into play here. This is not a high-end mountain bike that you can go and slay some trails on. This is not like a super comfortable beach cruiser, although in my opinion it is really comfortable and you can ride for miles on this thing. But there are some components that are a little bit cheaper, but in the bike's entirety it is a quality piece of equipment overall. But if you're going to spend 2, 3, 4 times the amount, you are going to get a lot of higher end components, things like the brakes, which we'll touch on in a little bit. Here's some POV version. Just out here riding one-handed. Get out of the grass and into the road where this thing's a bit more efficient. Now this is a steep hill coming up out of this neighborhood. I'm using only the twist throttle. That's it. And we're climbing 13 miles an hour. 13 flat. 12 and a half. Oh, 12. See what it's like when we crest this hill. 10. 9 and a half. Holding steady. Now we're climbing, picking up speed. 10 miles an hour. All right, all right, all right. Still only using the twist throttle. Whoa, boy, I got a car behind me. I'm going 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 27 and a half. Down to about 12, high 11s, and we're still cruising, baby! So my next major like is going to be the capability, and really kind of like the off-road capability of the bike. All of these can ride on pavement with absolute ease. But this thing can do a little bit of trail riding, a little bit of it's more at home on like gravel roads and things. So, and I don't want to overstate that either. This is not a mountain bike. There's no rear suspension. It's got fat tires on it, you know, and like the seating position, as you can see, is very upright. It's meant to be extremely approachable by all sorts of different riders. There's a lot of adjustability built in to make sure that can be the case. But like the front fork, you know, this suspension is not really designed for performance. It's more just there for comfort. You can also lock it out though. Come on. There we go. You gotta relieve the pressure on the fork, and then you can lock it out. So if you're just hauling down a paved road, you can just lock it out and really increase your efficiency that much more. But it's surprisingly capable. Obviously, like my tires are covered in mud right now. I just came down a complete like dirt, rutted, muddy road, and it went right through it no problem. Zero traction issues, zero stability issues. So the capability is pretty good for what you're paying for. I wouldn't take it off any jumps though. Okay, so this is another one of those incredibly difficult to show hills. I am applying zero human effort here. This is all bike, 3 miles per hour. So that was able to propel me up this incredibly steep hill. I do not know the exact percentage gain here. I just want to show you that it can do it. I'm going to come to a complete stop. Whoa. So here's the hill. It's pretty steep. I'm still at a complete stop here. I'm going to give a little bit of pedal and some throttle and see if we can't get going from a dead stop. Zero human effort. This is all bike. All bike. 2 miles per hour, 3. Holding at 2.5, 3. All to say, she can climb. So the next thing that I'm really impressed with is the range. Now, all these different e-bike manufacturers are gonna come out with all sorts of wacky ranges, but really you're focused on like two numbers. The one that they advertise, which for this bike is going to be 50 to 60 miles, and then the one that they kind of don't advertise, which is going to be your all-electric range, which is subject to so many different variables. So if you are pedaling along with this electric motor, I think you can definitely hit 50 to 60 miles on this bike. It really depends on a lot of different things though, like how good of a pedaler are you, what's your weight. Same thing with the all-electric range. How much do you weigh? Are you on hills? Are the tires inflated properly? I think that you can easily and reliably get, even in the cold weather, 20 miles of range on a proper full charge on this bike using all electric. Just the little throttle right here. So your results may vary. It really just depends, but I think 20 to 25 miles of all electric mode using zero pedaling on your own, that's pretty darn good. Now the knobby tires on this thing aren't insane, but they're enough to get you through this mud. This is all the e-bike, zero human power going through this little muddy section. Whoa, whoa. Still all e-bike. Let me flip it around, come back your way. So I'm in pedal assist 1. I'm putting in zero human effort. This is about how fast pedal assist 1 goes. I'm applying brakes, almost a complete stop, and then I use the throttle to get out of it. Okay, let's take her through some, I got no idea what this is like. Whoa! All throttle. Oh, look at me. God, I'm cool. So the next thing that I really like about this bike is the approachability. Again, there's a lot of adjustability built in. You can raise and lower the seat. You can raise and lower the handlebars. That simple little step through makes it very easy to ride. And it's a bicycle, you know, the upright riding position's very easy to get used to. I'm 6 foot tall, so I fit right in with this bike. I think if you're taller, 6'3", 4", maybe even taller than that, you can still find some easy settings with the handlebars and the seat. On the lower end, I think around 5'4", 5'5", might be the kind of the lower end where you truly feel comfortable. Any shorter than that, and you might want to maybe make some modifications to it, who knows, but it's just really approachable. You got a kickstand, you got simple pedals and simple controls. On the left-hand side, you've got your little module where you can turn the bike on and off, and you can control your pedal assist. And then on the right-hand side, you've got your actual mechanical gear shift of 1 through 7. It's just really simple. Front brake, rear brake, bell, even adjusting the suspension and locking it out is incredibly simple. So again, hard to pick up on camera here, but this is all mud. There's a little bit of grip in this dirt, but this is essentially all mud. And I will say the bike is also extremely comfortable to cruise on while standing up. So here I am, this surface is slick. There's ice, there's mud. Oh, I wish the pedals were grippier. But I just took my time plodding through there and it did just fine. So my last like is gonna be, it actually comes with an LED headlight. Now, it's not gonna get you down the interstate at home, which you can kind of hear behind you. Sorry about the noise. But it also has a tail light on it too. So that tail light and headlight just make it safer for nighttime riding. All you do is hold down the plus symbol on your controls here for a few seconds and it turns on. You do the same thing to turn it off. Now the headlight isn't anything to really write home about, but it will like get you home no problem or get you back to the campsite. So it comes with it and it works. And the tail light's really cool too. So the tail light will be on, and then if you engage the brake, it will go brighter, just like a brake light on a car. Pretty cool. So my first major dislike with this bike is gonna be not really like the power delivery from the electric motors, but really just the the suddenness in which it engages. So there's no ramp up of the electric power. It's you twist this throttle or you start to pedal and it just instantly comes on, which is, you know, kind of cool. I guess electric torque is just very instant, but then it also will instantly turn off, but there's a little bit of a delay. So you twist the throttle and then you let off and it takes a second. Now I'm pedaling. Whoa, kind of did it right there. So I've got the power assist, pedal assist mode up to level 7. That's the highest it can go. And if I start pedaling, I'm pedaling, oh, then it engages and it's pedal assisting. And if I stop pedaling, the electric motor will continue to propel you for that extra half of a second. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, just a half of a second, but that extra half of a second of power delivery when you are not expecting it is not very intuitive at all. And that can lead to kind of, in the dirt bike community, what we call like whiskey throttle, meaning where the acceleration continues when you don't mean it to, and all of a sudden the bike is getting away from you. And if you can't stand up to let it go, well, then you might go careening into something. So this has almost happened to me a few times. Like I was rolling up to the stop sign, and I accidentally left this thing in power assist level like 7, and it just kept going for that extra. See how that delayed right there? I started pedaling, and it took a second or two for it to really engage, but it just kept. It kept delivering power even though I stopped pedaling. So that just takes a little bit of getting used to, that delay of the on and off. And the way around that is to cover the brakes. So if you're not used to it, I would get used to it. Start covering the brakes with your fingers. Either with with 2 fingers or with like 1 finger. Your front brake and your rear brake. When you engage those, the electric motors turn off. You cannot engage the throttle. I've got the brakes engaged right now, just a little bit. I'm not squeezing them very hard at all. And I also have the throttle completely twisted, but it will not accelerate the bike. That's your safety way around this thing. So that's my recommendation. You're rolling up to your campsite, there's tons of tables, kids, whatever, or you're coming up to a stop sign and there's like traffic and there's people. It's so easy to let this thing just like, oh, get away from you. And all of a sudden you're like crashing or something. Covering the brakes and instantly grabbing them when you need to turns everything off. It's just a safety thing that I would recommend trying to do and get used to. All right, so my next dislike is going to be the brakes. Now they work decently fine for regular cruising, so I do not want to put you off of this bike just because of the brakes. If you're just cruising around and riding like a normal person, you're perfectly fine. But if you're anything like me and you like to push the limits of things, both yourself and the bicycle, well, then you're going to run into situations where the brakes are not enough. So they're just regular cable brakes, all right? Some of the more higher end bikes actually come with hydraulic brakes. I just went up this hill. Whoa! I went up this hill. Now I'm cruising down. I'm not even going that fast, and here's a full stop. Okay, that was actually quite a bit better. But if you are carrying some speed, some proper speed, you're gonna have to squeeze down on these brakes as hard as you can, front and rear, to really stop. That's extreme. That is in absolutely extreme situations. But like say you're cruising one-handed because you got like a nice juicy little milkshake in your hand that you don't want to spill, and you only have access to a single brake. Well, you're gonna have to squeeze that brake pretty hard in order to stop. Again, it's a bit of an exaggeration. If you're riding this bike hard and fast, that's the only time you'll ever come into that. For standard cruising around campgrounds, neighborhood streets, these brakes are fine. So my other little tip, it's kind of a dislike, but it's really just kind of an opportunity to point out a, whoa, there's that lagging acceleration, is to shift the mechanical gears as you are shifting the pedal assist. Use them simultaneously based on your speed. It's going to take some getting used to for sure, but that's just kind of like My little suggestion to help you from letting the pedal assist feature, and here's some B-roll footage of cycling through those gears, letting that pedal assist feature really kind of like take you away. Pedal assist 1 is going to be really slow, right? If you're pedaling, but you're like literally not putting any human power into the drivetrain, that's going to carry you about like 4 miles per hour, give or take. And then you have pedal assist 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If you're using pedal assist 7, and again, you're just like rotating your legs very slowly. I'll show you some video of that. Then that sucker's going to give full power up to about 25 miles per hour. Side note, when you do purchase a bike like this, you get the manual. In the manual, it shows you how you can unlock the top speed from 20 to 25 miles per hour. It's really simple. I forget how to do it. It's right there. They're not hiding it. It's just like a safety feature built in where you can either choose to allow the speed to go higher or not. But I highly recommend using the mechanical gears. So let's say you're at a campsite, you're cruising down the road and you're shifting up the mechanical gears to go faster and faster as you would on a normal pedal bike. You're also shifting up the pedal assist gears. Well, get in the habit of shifting both of those down together as well. Like say you're coming up to your campsite and you're still in 7th gear, you're downshifting. So, like 6th gear, 5th, 4th, 3rd, all the way down to 1st gear. Do the same thing with pedal assist. That'll just keep you from the bike getting away from you. A little tip that just takes some getting used to, that's all. So this next one, it's not really a dislike, it's just what it is. It takes about 5 to 7 hours to charge this battery from dead to full. So if you're commuting, that's totally fine. If you're just going camping, that's probably totally fine. Charge it over nighttime. I don't know, like if you're just trying to crush miles, then yeah, that can be a pain in the butt. It does charge pretty slow. But if you spend a lot more on an e-bike, you can get batteries that can charge a lot faster. So, you know, that's that whole like price point versus capability thing. In my opinion, 5 to 7 hours for a total charge time, that's pretty much fine. You're gonna get 20, 30, 40 miles out of a charge, depending on how much you're willing to pedal. In my opinion, that's good to go. Just something to be aware of. So in conclusion here, I think that this bike's going to be great for like 99% of people who are looking to buy something like this, as long as your expectations are in check here. It's not a full suspension mountain bike. You're not going to go blasting through trails. Doesn't have the most high-end componentry on it, but it is solidly built. You do get a good amount of miles out of each charge. It's very intuitive and easy to use. I've done like about a 12-mile cruise on it once already, and I wasn't tired from riding it. Everything was perfectly comfortable and normal. It meets all my expectations. So for those reasons, I think it's really like the perfect camping bike. Not to mention your little cargo rack on the back here. This can hold 25 kilograms. What's that, a little over 50 pounds? It's just a cool little bike. So yeah, if you got any questions, let me know. I'll try my best to answer them. Thanks for watching.